Hello, my name is Iyad, and greetings to whoever who is watching this video. We are Group 13 and our selected program is Ranking System. So, let me introduce my group members, khoo, Apipp, and xian, and me, Iyad. Alright, so slide overview. In this presentation, we're going to be talking about the architecture of our system, the logical explanation, and all the different functions that is used in this system, and the benefits and usage of the system in real life. So for system architecture, uh, Apipp will be doing that. For logical explanation, I'll pass it on to khoo, and benefits and usage will be explained by xian. Okay, firstly, I want to talk about the problems in real life that this program is aimed to solve. Uh, Firstly, let's understand the problems and the objective of this system is to solve. So after carrying out a lot of research, and we discovered two problems exist in the current evaluation system of our university, and that is the lack of an overall assessment, and we don't have a standard evaluation for non-academic achievement. So let's talk about the lack of an overall assessment. Other than academic evaluation, such as CGPA and GPA, we don't have any other non-academic achievement. And even if we had, they would exist in a different sector and probably won't be evaluated or taken into account. So, secondly, our university does not have a standard evaluation for non-academic achievements, which is what I just explained. So, many other achievements stand for itself, which are part of the student progress, but we do not have a standardized formula in calculating. Imagine if we have a student with medium CGPA but an excellent non-academic achievement, and a student which has amazing, nearly full mark CGPA but performs badly in non-academic activities. How can we evaluate these different factors towards the student so it can be easier for employers to hire them? So, hence the reason why this program would be very beneficial for real life usage. So, I would like to pass it on to Apipp to explain the objectives and the architecture of our system.
Okay, thank you, Iyad. And hello, my name is Apipp, and I will explain about the objective of this program, of this system. So, basically, the objective of this system is to provide an overall assessment, including academic and non-academic achievement. Um, the other objective is to provide an industry standard on calculating non-academic achievement. So now I will explain how the system works. So let before diving into the logic parts of the system, let's go through the system overview. So the ranking will be produced through a four stages component. So which are the first one is file input, and then data extracting, followed by processing the data, and the last but not least is the I/O output, which is the file output. Before we run the program, the first thing we need is to have the data ready for processing. So it must be it must be stored within a text file structure. So basically, the program will then extract information inside the file into struct where it holds the information. Then, by calling function and passing the struct as parameter, the program is able to do the arithmetical calculation on the information and produce that information to the peripheral device. So, to go into a deeper view, the program consists of five main components, which is struct, total mark function, append name function, sort ranking function, and display function. So, I, uh, I will pass this to khoo.
Thank you, Aspect, for passing me the role of explaining our assignment, our program, which is the Student Excellent Ranking System. First, my name is Kolean, and thank you. So let's start. You might be wondering how does the program work. So, Iyad, please move on. All right, first, before going to the main function, I would like to explain the struct first, most importantly. So the struct, there's in line 7, there's a static global variable, right? Static global variable and a constant variable ranking size. In other words, the ranking size is assigned to cell assigned to ranking size, and it's only read only. Next will be there will be two structs, name wrapper and ranking. Most importantly, the ranking struct where you got member variables, number, name, with array size of 30, CGPA, curriculum, and total. The name wrapper struct will be used later for another purpose. So moving on. Right. So sorry, go back. Go back to the main function. Alright, okay. Alright, so here is the main function. Going through line by line, we have first the ranking variable and the table variable. So as you can see here, this is the purpose of our unsigned in ranking size. I'm going to use it for the element size, which is 7 again. So first, we first declare or initialize a file pointer r underscore file, open this TCP5101 assignment test.tit file in read mode. So secondly, there will be an error checker function if let's say the file find the file, so it returns this. Next is in the while loop of file end of file, right? So if not file end of file, it can't reach end of file, so we first fseek. So we replace the cursor pointer at the start of the file, and we do a for loop of scanning and reading the data from the file itself. So here I'm assigning all these member variables, number, names, GPA, curriculum into this underscore variable. Then moving on, you can see we have mainly 1, 2, 3, 4 functions going on. So total marks is passing at %. That means later on you will find out that, and then here if append names function, it's not return a void, it return to another name wrapper pointer data type. Name wrapper pointer is also our struct as mentioned before. So and then we have a sort rankings function and then a display table function. Do note that the break function here is we have to manually break it because the file input output handler can't reach the end of the file, and then we close it. So going through each function now, let's start with the total marks function. Moving on. Excuse me. So total mark. So first of all, we have the first of all, you should know that the total function, the total member variable is calculated based on our grade assessment and calculus assessment. Basically, we want to get 50% of both values of the ranking CGPA and ranking curriculum. So after that, after finding a 50% of each value, we take the sum of grade assessment, curriculum assessment, and totaling into the member total. And then we have print the data in our terminal, the number, name, CGPA, and curriculum member variable. Going on. So append name, right? So append names. So first, most importantly, as you can see, it returning a wrapper. The variable wrapper is also a name wrapper pointer, right? And using the malloc function, malloc built-in keyword. In other words, we want to return a dynamic memory, dynamic array. So, and that's why this is one of the few ways essentially to return a dynamic array in C. We have to return basically return a pointer, name wrapper pointer, something like that. So next is later we just assign the name member variable from the ranking count, our ranking count struct into the name wrapper struct. So string copy here is just to decopy it, right? Moving on.
Can we cut that? And then Xian, can you mute your microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not cool ahead, Xian, because there was like a echo.
So where do we restart?
Yeah, so we start here. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Here. Okay, sorry. So next is the sort ranking function. This is our meat of the entire program. Essentially, this sorting algorithm is using a bubble sort. So how does a bubble sort essentially work? It's basically After stepping each for loop in each element, we first compare two array elements. So let's say the left hand side is lesser than the right hand side, so it will trigger the for loop and if equation here, right? So basically it will swap the two values and then assign it from either from struct in the first index from the first index of the second index to the first index. So do note that this bubble sort algorithm is ranked based on in descending order. How do we know that? Because in the line 44 here, we have a lesser than keyword here. That means it determines whether it's descending or ascending. So, and moving on. Okay, so finally is our display table function. Is even though it's not actually a table in our final output, we just call it a display table, shall we? So essentially, we just print out in a for loop the member variable name from the table struct, and that's all from our program. Thank you. Okay, moving on, I'm gonna leave to Lei Xiaoxiang to talk about this section of our video. Thank you.
Right, thank you Leihan for explaining the logical part of our program. I'll be explaining the possible usage and benefits. Firstly, it's gonna benefits three. It's gonna be students, lecturer, and school administrations. Students can make good use of this ranking system to have a better self-assessment, knowing where their position is. Secondly, for lecturer and school administrations, such ranking systems will help to promote competitiveness among students, helping to level up their academic and non-academic achievement as well. And secondly, this program is an automated process, which means that if the data is ready, this program can run automatically without human interference. And lastly, such program can be implanted into the internet, where we can put it on websites where students, lecturers can use it to access their rankings. Right, that be all of my parts. I'll be handing the stage to Iyad.
All right. Thank you, Lei Xiaoxian. Thank you, Lei Xiaoxian, for explaining the usage, Afipp for explaining the architecture, and Lei for explaining the logical system. So, thank you for watching. This was presented by Group 13. Members Lei Xiaoxian, Afipp, and me, Iyad Najmi. Alright, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and that's all. Thank you.